I was born in Holland, in a bit of the countryside. Around 15, 16, I got more interested in like alternative lifestyles, and I think it was mainly because my sister was living in a squat also. So from really young, I was connected to the squatting movement in Holland, and I experienced how spaces that are not being used could be used for many things other than just a house. I started also to study gender studies. That was a really important study, and I also did a research project in which I visited communities, political communities, where people live together and where they practice their ideals. And I was really checking out like how are these people doing that. There's so many theories about how to change the world, but how do people really do it and what problems do they meet? And I wanted to see more, so I started after my study. I took my bicycle and I started to travel around Europe. I think it was because of this research that I found out that most of the people are really happy to share their knowledge and to talk about their experiences. And also that they also don't really know everything, like they also are looking and experimenting. So for me that gave me a lot of inspiration more than, like I was not really afraid. I was more afraid to stay in Holland and to get stuck into this job and have a house and I don't know, like I didn't really want that. And I see all my friends doing that, and I'm really happy that I can try to find another way. Although I'm also a lot of times I'm completely lost. But I am now involved in 3 different projects, or like 3 spaces. One is the social center Casa Viva. The other one is a community garden project, which is called Musas, the Quinta of Musas. And then there is the school. That is more a neighborhood center. And what keeps me here now is in 1 year there was so many projects started and they are still going really strong, and there's more and more people getting involved and more people getting interested in creating alternatives and creating projects together as a community. I live next door to Casa Viva. It's not squatted, but it was an abandoned space before we started living here. We have an agreement with the owner, so we can use the space, but we don't pay any rent. As long as we help keeping the building a bit in its state. Like, for sure we make it better than it would be if it would be abandoned. So we make sure that the roof is not leaking and that the windows are repaired and we paint everything new. For me, it's like to live like this is to also try to increase a bit my ecological footprint, like by recycling many materials, not consuming too many things, but trying to reuse everything that is being as trash by others. Like squatting is something that I really support. I also recycle food. Like one important thing for me is the bread baking collective, which comes together once a week to bake bread. Another reason to do this is to have time left. I don't really need to work all the time, 40 hours a week, to wait to have my few weeks of holiday to do finally the things that I want to do. So I rather live quite sober and maybe more inventive, and in that sense have more time to learn new skills instead of supporting a society that is, for my idea, falling apart. I rather construct some alternatives, alternative space and alternative ways of living, which is a more local way of living and more together with the community where you live in. Sometimes it is a little bit hard to live this way. You really have to make your own decisions. You really have to take your own initiative if you want to create something. On the other hand, it gives you a lot of freedom to experiment